Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. Unbelievable!
There's a spectrum for this type of stuff, and we've been seeing it a lot because of the whole Kendrick Drake beef, because of the Ava Chris Tyson situation, this situation, Cody Ko. It's like you're either at the end of the spectrum, right, where you can kind of get away with it. The end of the spectrum will be whatever you said is like, that's kind of weird, right? That's a 1. That's kind of weird. Maybe even like edgy, right? At the very end of the spectrum, right, the 10 is like, you need to be locked up in cell block 1 with R. Kelly. If you really want to protect your reputation, right, and if what you're saying is really true, you release those messages. Why wouldn't you? To me, it seems like he is still afraid that there is something in that spectrum of that level 1 freak to level 10 freak. There's something in there that he is scared of.
After what's transpired over the last couple months, am I excited to be back to this type of world? God.
But you are. I mean, you're here, right? It ain't like bro has to work, I don't think. Like, he should be set, right? I don't think bro has to stream.
So glad you're back. Hey, I appreciate it, Shane. And there's a date that's been presented to us. Then I'm going to take it. In the meantime, again, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled.
Well, of course, right? Because you're not gonna expose yourself. And I'm not saying that he's totally like a PDF file, right? I'm just saying like there's multiple reasons why you wouldn't break confidentiality. The first and foremost being you don't want this connected to your name, right? The second being the legality of it.
Disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled
low-key
professionally.
Agreed. Low-key agreed.
And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. I mean, for what? Cody, why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the 2-time? Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was a minor through Whisper's messages.
Whoa.
Do you even know what the legal definition of sex is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't anyone.
That's good if that's true. But that's not like super the issue. Legality isn't really what matters in the eyes of the internet, right? Like, if it is illegal, then of course the internet just gonna eat you up. But even if it's not, there's a spectrum for this type of stuff, and we've been seeing it a lot because of the whole Kendrick Drake beef, because of the Ava Chris Tyson situation, this situation, Cody Ko. It's like you're either at the end of the spectrum, right, where you can kind of get away with it. The end of the spectrum will be in whatever you said is like, that's kind of weird, right? That's a 1. That's kind of weird. Maybe even like edgy, right? At the very end of the spectrum, right, the 10 is like, you need to be locked up in cell block 1 with R. Kelly and EDP and all them fools that Gideon be catching on his channel. That's the spectrum. There's the 1, a little bit edgy, kind of weird, and there's a 10 where it's like, you need to be in cell block 1. And then there's the middle, which is like, you might be a predator. So anything that's in the middle to the 10, anything that's might be a predator to you need to be locked up in cell block 1, the internet gonna destroy you, bruh. And that's just what it is, and you probably deserve it. If you're anywhere in between those lines, like here, you don't need to be around children. Anything at the bottom end, you could probably still have a career and get away with. But that's what needs to be determined, is like, nobody knows what was actually said. And that's kind of the problem.
You also said the word minor, Cody.
So did
I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages?
But he said it was a minor. Those were his words. How are they going? Why would you consider that if you yourself said in your own tweet that it was a minor? That's a weird argument. Why would they consider something contrary to the statement that you, the perpetrator, made?
You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. Your accusations gave false courage to other...
He kind of stumbled right there when he said never. He was like, we never... I'm messing around. That was a little weird, though.
Former Twitch employees to make... Well, I suspect all of you sort of planned and coordinated this attack. These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now, don't you think, champs? They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening. They report on all this based on leaks from 2 former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM.
Okay, so again, it's that spectrum. It doesn't have to be sexting. It doesn't have to be CSAM. for a private company to be like, you're a little bit too freaky to be on our platform, right? Again, it's not so much the legality, it's more of just the overall picture that's painted and what was actually said, because you can still be kind of weird and kind of freaky and kind of out of line. Really, you can be really out of line without breaking the law. But to his sort of, I guess, defense, I do think it's strange that these messages were from 2017 and he didn't get banned until 2020, right? And if he was as horrible of a person as some people are trying to paint him to be, he had 3 years to do whatever he wanted. He had 3 years with full access to Twitch and to his fan base and to the Twitch Whispers. I don't know when Twitch deleted the Whispers product, but from 2017, when these actions were perpetrated, all the way to 2020, there's been no victims. He hasn't actually done anything wrong aside from, to his own words, having conversations with a minor that sometimes lead in the direction of inappropriate. I think that's how he worded it. So I don't like escalating his person, his profile to, oh, you're a full PDF file. Because if he was that, there would be a clear victim. And even with this, it's not clear if this Twitch user considers themselves a victim of any kind, because he says some stuff later that even could call that into question if it's true. So yeah, he had 3 years to mess around and do some crazy stuff, and as to my knowledge, he never did anything other than something on this spectrum of what he was saying to this Twitch user.
I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images.
Okay.
Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened. I even used the word inappropriate purposely.
Okay, so going back to the spectrum. Okay, so he's saying he's not a 10. He's saying he don't belong in cell block 1. Okay, cool. Are you in the middle? A little bit predatory? Or are you at the very bottom? Kind of weird. A little bit edgy. Where we at? Of course, if you ask Doc, he's going to say it's a 1. It was just, there were some Twitch whispers that were inappropriate. And that's his words. But now he's, I don't know, it sounds like he's even backtracking on that. Oh, they weren't inappropriate. He threw that word into the tweet on purpose to get attention on him, to, I don't know, throw people off. I don't really get what the bait was for.
And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place.
Okay. Mutual bantering. What did he say with inappropriate jokes?
Taken out of context. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context.
Okay. Mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes. So he's saying he's a 1. A little weird. A little edgy. Which is far from a 10. Now that's what he's saying. But again, it don't seem like he want to release those whispers. So you either are deciding to take his word for it, or you taking Twitch's word for it, that, and these ex-employees, that he was being too freaky. Who knows?
context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words?
True.
And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal. You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers.
So he's talking about the legality of being banned, but the public don't really care about the legality of why you got banned.
And creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020, my ex conversations that consisted of a variety of plain I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020,
see,
my ex-Twitch partner manager
okay, so that's important. Hold on.
Learned on this was of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user.
Okay, so he's saying the extent of his conversations with this minor was gaming politics, content creation, the normal stuff. If that's true, if that's the full extent, then there's some inconsistencies, bruh. There's some inconsistencies, mainly with the statement that he made on Twitter. Because he admitted that there were some conversations that leaned into the direction of inappropriate. So we just talking like some edgy jokes then? What are we talking about? That's the issue. We don't know because we hadn't seen these whispers, so he just expect us to take his word for it, which is difficult because he's backtracking. No matter how you look at it.
On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with a Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. I'm talking no front page love. You're talking about the face of the platform, right? Literally, the face of the platform. And I know Champions Club remembers this. We got zero front page love on the website. He was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the two-time Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you want to play in it? We got zero support from this guy. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence?
Motive. Okay, now he's claiming motive.
The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report.
All right, I want to go back real quick.
The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time.
Okay, like I said, motive.
So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence? The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case.
Okay. Here's the problem with this. He skipped something. He skipped something kind of important, actually. So he's got this manager that doesn't like him, right? He gets fired. Well, fired. He just doesn't. Doc doesn't want to be associated with him anymore. He wants a new Twitch manager. So, quote unquote, fires him, right? What Doc is claiming is that this Twitch manager has a grudge. A few months later, this manager is encouraging homegirl, this minor, to file a report. And she says, "No, I don't want to." So some critical information is skipping. Is being missed. How did this Twitch manager find out about the whispers in the first place? Did this girl go to his manager or go to Twitch and be like, "Hey, this happened"? Did she report it herself, or did his manager go through his Twitch whispers and find these messages himself, like on some super petty stuff, like scroll through 3 years of whispers? It may not have even been 3 years of whispers, because I don't know when the whisper product was terminated on Twitch, but we'll say it was 3 years of whispers, right? Did he scour through 3 years of messages from Doc and his fans in order to find this, and then the manager went out and encouraged the girl to report it? Or did she report it herself, and then the manager was like, "Yeah, you should take it further, you should take it further"? Because what he's claiming doesn't make sense, right? If that's the case, if she went to Twitch herself and said that she wanted to tell them, like, "Hey, these messages happened," and then his manager was like, "Okay, let's report it," why would she then be like, "Nah, I don't want to escalate it"? To me, that wouldn't make sense, because then it's like, why would you go to Twitch in the first place? And how would she even get to the point where she was directly in contact with his manager? So some things don't add up here. And it's important to me because, and I think it should be important to anybody who's drawing conclusions about who Doc is in this case, because it kind of determines whether this person felt that she was a victim or not. If she went to Twitch herself and was like, "Hey, this happened to me," then yeah, she may have experienced some sort of mental discomfort through these messages that she was exchanging with a 35-year-old man with a family. Or she didn't consider herself any kind of victim at all. She doesn't think any wrongdoing happened, and his manager just took it upon himself, being super petty, to find some messages that could cause controversy and get him banned at some point. And we don't really know which one is which, because Doc is claiming that she didn't want to escalate anything, that she didn't want to pursue any kind of action against Doc. And if that's the case, then why would she have reported anything at all? Right? What would have been the goal? What would be the purpose? I mean, I guess you could go and then report something and then get stage fright once you see like how serious it might be becoming. Like, you go report something and then be like, "All right, yeah, we got to escalate. We got to go further. You need to report it." And then you'd be like, "Well, actually, let me not do that, because I didn't think it was like, I didn't think I was going to have to do all of this." That's possible, but it's still kind of strange. But I think it's important because from what I see, there's no victim in this situation. This person who is on the other end of these messages, this minor, doesn't seem to have been affected or harmed in any way. But if we learn that she actually did herself take the initiative and go reach out to Twitch, then that kind of shows that she was uncomfortable and that it affected her in some kind of negative capacity. So I think that detail is important.
In case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team. That would have been the end. That should have been the end. But that partner manager,
if he's telling the truth, I low-key agree.
Oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two-time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do?
If what he said wasn't anything crazy.
He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Right. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, a big-time arbitration, okay? And, you discover a lot of stuff.
So that's how he has all this background information, because of the whole legal proceedings.
The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate. True. Even when they aren't.
True that.
Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch.
But again, backtracking, right? You can make anybody's messages look inappropriate even when they aren't. So what are you saying, brother? That the messages sent between you and this minor weren't inappropriate? I'm saying minor because he said minor in his tweet. So
Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement. Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's unbelievable!
Whoa. All right. So he's talking more to the legality of the situation, right? Which we kind of talked about already. Like, it's good that nobody found any legal wrongdoing that was done. That's cool. But as far as public perception, as far as your monetization, being partnered with Twitch, YouTube, things like that, bro, it's not just about whether whatever's done is illegal or not. It's like, right? It's that freak spectrum, right? If you fall too high on that freak spectrum, they want you out of here, and rightfully so. But he's talking to the legality of it, and that's because, which I think is important too, because there were people who were saying, yo, dude is sending sexually explicit stuff to kids. He's, for all the people that were saying that stuff, this is important. It's good that he's clarifying this and letting them know, nah, y'all are dead wrong. I'm not guilty of any of those things. And if he really wants to take it further, like I know other content creators have mentioned, hey, bro, sue him. Sue him. Get your money back. Get your reputation in the eyes of the public back. Don't just hop on to the next video game. Don't just hop on to Call of Duty and Tarkov or whatever. Bro, like, take this junk to court so you can clear your name. Because from what I've seen, that's one thing that the internet actually does respect, is when, if you've been accused of something crazy, of course, people going to jump on you. They're going to attack you, whether they have proof or not, because people are dumb. And most people just want blood. There's nothing more fun than watching a giant hit the ground, because it makes a real loud noise. People love seeing big celebrities, whatever you consider the dog. They love to see a crash, right? But one thing people do respect, and that they won't speak against, is if you take your case to court and you win. We saw it with Johnny Depp. I've seen it with other content creators where they were accused of doing some heinous stuff, and some of them actually did it. But when they took it to court and they put all the evidence out on the table and the court said, nah, you're good, they still have a career. I follow the Smash community very closely. There's some weirdos in that community, as we all know. None of them bathe. But what happened back a few years ago with pretty much every Smash player in the competitive scene being a fan, 6ix9ine God, some of them took their cases to court and they still have a good following and they still got careers, man. For the doc, if he's claiming that none of these things were actually what people are saying, using terms like he was sending sexually explicit or all of those nasty terms that you don't want to hear your name associated with, especially with children, bro, take it to court, man. Take it to court. And then with the whole fallout from Midnight Society, you might get that back. But you need that proof, man. You need that slate wiped clean in the court of law. In my opinion, that's the move. Because you talking to this Cody person, whatever his name is. I mean, bro, hit his wallet. He not gonna care about nothing you saying in this stream till you hit that wallet. Breathe it out, champ. It's tough. Tough being on the internet, man.
I'm not going to get into every detail regarding my legal case.
Of course you ain't.
But these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue.
Cody.
They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. So then why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from their other streamers? I mean, outside of the obvious. I mean, just take a look at me, right? Unfiltered. The realest motherfucker in this industry.
Yikes.
6'8", gorgeous, athletic, successful, college degree, college athlete, bourbon business, gaming studio, beautiful family. And trust me, we've worked hard for over a decade to improve as a person.
I know he's playing a character, man, but glazing yourself when you're trying to beat, it's like, yo, glazing yourself when you're trying to beat child predator allegations is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. I know he's playing a character, but it's like, this might be the one time, dog, when you take the wig off. But I mean, it might be a W as far as, you know, maintaining a following. It's just, if nothing else, it's funny. It's definitely funny.
A husband and father, and to get where we're at today. I mean, I'm in such a good place today. And all these people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect.
Humble.
I don't claim to be perfect. Sometimes I do. But I also didn't do all this shit they're saying I did.
Dr. Disrespect got a long tongue.
But then that doesn't make a story, right? They wanted media attention. The media wants controversy.
Hopefully that's irrelevant.
And by sensationalizing all this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the tube time. The reality is, they wanted to cut down the doc. Plain and simple. Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here. Example number 1. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent. Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his conduct was a violation of Twitch's policies.
Narcissist.
Ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies. Why wasn't I called into a meeting? Why wasn't my intent taken into consideration, champs? Example number 2. Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all while live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract.
Crazy.
Example number 3. Streamer was reported for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves. Never suspended, but instead, given a multi-million-dollar contract.
They not like us. They not like us. But look, one thing I will say is that, you know, he's making the point, obviously, that they had it out for him. People had it out for him because he wasn't treated the same as some of these other crazy people that are on Twitch. And they are out there, obviously. Like, we know the craziness that goes on Twitch. But to that point, I do think it's weird. If his stating of events is true, it is strange that the minor that was in question, the Twitch user, it is strange that that Twitch user was in contact with his ex-manager to discuss these things, because he claims that he got rid of that manager in 2019. But these allegations, but all of this didn't blow up until 2020, like June, right? Like June 2020, and then he was banned in July. So when they were gathering all of this information, why was she, the Twitch user, in contact with his ex manager? That would seem like a conflict of interest a little bit. Like using your ex manager to gather evidence of allegations against you. If what he's stating is true, and that's what actually happened, that his ex manager was in contact with the minor that's in question, that is strange. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because it kind of proves that, yeah, like, bro had it out for him. Because why are you talking to this person? You're not even his manager anymore. You're not his representative at Twitch anymore. So why are you involved in this case at all? Because if anybody would have something against the doc, it would be the dude who the doc fired, quote unquote fired, or had replaced. But that's assuming that what Dr. Disrespect is saying and how things played out, it's assuming that he's giving an accurate accounting of those things.
It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract.
To be fair, I don't know exactly how everything works over at Twitch when this kind of stuff happens, but
the doc's termination lines up with two preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers leaving Mixer.
he's talking about Ninja and Shroud, probably.
As soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed, and go look at the timing, these other expensive streamers needed a new streaming platform. So Twitch rushed through its decision to terminate the two-time. You see, I shouldn't even be banned from Twitch.
Okay.
It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020 and now in 2024.
That's true. These messages have followed him for like 8 years, bro.
And Cody, Connors, I just have to say it again. Why would you do this? Like I said, this was handled professionally years ago. No fucking wrongdoing.
To Doc's point, again, that's also kind of a good point. Like, bro, the Cody Connors person, why? Like, I mean, if you genuinely think that this dude is a threat to child safety, bruh, I mean, you've given him plenty of time to get away with whatever he wanted. Like, I'm sorry, but keeping your mouth shut about a legal case, if you genuinely think that the doc is what people are saying he is, and like all the crazy things that people are saying, you know, he's the R. Kelly of the streaming world, Dr. Kid Inspect, all of this crazy junk, y'all got to be looking at Cody Connors kind of sideways too, because, and Twitch, because y'all all have all this information that the doc is a level 10 freak, but y'all been letting bro run amok, like just run wild on YouTube. He's got a huge following on YouTube. He's got access to all these minors on his channels, like, but y'all simultaneously knew that he was a predator and y'all just letting it ride. Like, y'all not. So to me, it makes them look weird. And I don't, and to me it seems like I'm not convinced that they truly believe all of the things that they're saying about the doc. What it seems like to me is the dude probably said some weird things in those whispers. Somebody may have had something against him, and they used those weird things, wherever those weird things lie on that spectrum that we talked about, used it to stir up controversy to get him banned. The question really, and it still remains, is how freaky were these whispers? That's the golden question. Before, the question was, why did Doc get banned? We know why he got banned, but there's still one question that remains. What was the level of freak on these whispers? That's what we need to know.
But because of you, Cody, we just lost. Man.
So sue him, bro. Sue him.
Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society.
Not if you sue him.
Right? Because of you, Cody.
Bro, if you sue him and you win, you get your reputation back, you get your funding back. Like, come on.
You know, through all this, we are where we are. people want to show the message, release the messages, show the messages.
Why not?
What are we in second grade?
No. All right, that's enough for me. What do I think? I think that we're not in second grade. We're all adults. Well, not all of us, clearly. But if you really want to protect your reputation, right? And if what you're saying is really true, you release those messages. Why wouldn't you? To me, it seems like he is still afraid that there is something in that spectrum of that level 1 freak to level 10 freak. There's something in there that he is scared of, that he don't want out of there, that he doesn't want out in the public for people to make their own opinions of. It's not about the gossip and, oh, what are we in second grade? No, that's disingenuous, because that's the whole reason we're talking about this in the first place. That's the whole reason for this whole controversy and this whole mess that you in, is what was in those whispers. So if you are going to backtrack what you said on Twitter and say that, one, this person wasn't a minor in the place that they were living, okay, still weird, but all right, not illegal. Like you said, maybe not illegal. But if you're going to make these claims also that it wasn't inappropriate, because that's kind of what he alluded to in this video at one point, that the messages were made to look inappropriate, right? When it was escalated, when it was sent to the higher ups on Twitch and the law enforcement, that it was cherry picked and taken out of context to be made to look like it was inappropriate. If that's your story now, then dog, why are you withholding the messages? What's the point of withholding the messages? Clear your name, bro. If you don't withhold the messages, or if you continue to withhold the messages, okay, take this Cody person to court. Take him to court. But within those legal proceedings, it may be possible that those whispers may be brought into the court of law. And maybe he doesn't want that either. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I ain't gonna pretend to be an expert on that stuff, but he clearly doesn't want to show these whispers, and that in and of itself is kind of strange. It might be just, and you could give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe there was something just a little weird in there, and he just don't want people speculating. He doesn't want it attached to him. He doesn't want people constantly pointing to that slightly weird thing. Maybe it's like a 3 on that freak spectrum. But if you go and backtrack everything you said in Twitter, man, like, let us get some proof. Because at this point, it's still just he said, she said. It's some ex-employees on Twitter that clearly don't like you. I mean, that's proven. It's proven that they don't like him. Because, bro, Cody Connors held on to this tweet for God knows how long, and decided to release it like out of nowhere, like on, I think it was like his, like the 3-year anniversary or something like that of Doc getting banned, or the 4-year anniversary, something like that. It's just weird. Like, why? It's true. What Doc asked is a good point. Like, why? It's no kids being harmed as far as we know. This Twitch user may not have even reported this stuff herself. Maybe she did, or maybe it was his ex manager. We don't know. But why? Like, why is Doc living in your head rent free, Cody Connors? It hadn't been no kids protected during the 3 years from 2017 to 2020, and no one was protecting the children from the Doc. And it's clearly because I think people know that Doc is not on that level of freak. Okay, he probably said some stupid junk. He was 35 at the time. He's too old to be using the internet. Okay, I'm just kidding. But you're at that age. I'm not excusing anything he said, because we still don't know what he said. But it's like, He might have said some stupid junk without thinking about it before considering the age of who he was joking with. But it's clear to me that none of these platforms truly consider him to be a threat. And to me, that's one of the most important things. Like, do you genuinely consider this man to be a danger to children or not? Isn't that the most important thing? Like, doesn't that take precedent? Or are we just trying to see a giant hit the ground? Doc has to do one of two things. Release them whispers. Release the whispers. Hashtag release the whispers. Take Cody to court and clear your name, bro. Because otherwise, this is just he said, she said. And it might be a W for Doc. Because if what he did say in those messages was a little too freaky, this is how you would play it, right? You don't release the whispers. You tell your own version of the story, whether it's true or not. You put on your wig and your glasses and your weird little harness, and you just keep playing video games. That's what he's doing. So it's hard to say. Hard to say, man. Moral of the story, though. Don't talk to children. Don't be anywhere on the spectrum. Don't be a level 1 freak. Don't be a level 10 freak. Just don't be a freak. Stay in your lane. Once you hit the age of 35, consider slowing it down. And if you have a family, love your family. Don't be talking to nobody on the internet. Hey, bro, Ninja put it best. Ninja put it best. What did Ninja say? I don't want to know you. I don't want to find out you're only 16. Bro, Ninja said it best, man. You don't want to find out nobody's age on the internet. That's it. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments. I like the doc, but I don't like freaks. So who knows what he is.
I don't know you. I'm not DMing you. I don't want to get to know you, dude. I don't want to find out you're only 17. Like,